To begin talks on return of assets to TH. Ministry to propose use of subsidized imported rice at government premises. Hello and good afternoon. You're watching Updates at Noon with me, Mohana Priya. The government will begin discussions on the handing back of part of Lembaga Tabung Haji assets that were previously transferred to a special purpose vehicle company owned by the Finance Ministry in 2018. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said this consideration was made after preliminary reports showed that TH was now well managed and that there was increasing confidence among depositors amidst the efficient management of the new leadership of the National Hajj Management Institution, who had shown their integrity.
Dan setelah meneliti perkembangannya dan bincang dengan Menteri dan juga Tan Sri Azman, saya telah beritahu daripada awal bila saya ambil alih jawatan ini, mengatakan bahawa sebaik tabung haji itu diurus dengan baik dan meyakinkan seperti yang berlaku sekarang, tahniah kepada rakan-rakan, maka Kementerian Kewangan akan memulakan perbincangan supaya menyerahkan semula semua aset yang kini diamanahkan kepada Kementerian Kewangan. Yang ini sebenarnya juga mematikan fitnah yang amat tidak bertanggungjawab terhadap Menteri Kewangan ketika itu dan kerajaan ketika itu, seolah-olah memindahkannya kepada kelompok bukan Islam. Tidak.
The Premier said this when launching the Lembaga Tabung Haji 60th anniversary celebration today. Datuk Seri Anwar said the government will also amend the TH Act to improve its efficiency, adding that the bill will be tabled earliest during the next Dewan Rakyat sitting and latest by next year. The Agriculture and Food Security Ministry will be proposing the use of subsidized imported rice at government premises such as hospitals, police training centres, military camps and school hostels to allow more local rice to be in the market. Its Minister Datuk Seri Mohammad Sabu said the matter will be discussed with Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, who is also the Finance Minister, on Monday. The move is expected to restore higher availability of local rice in the market. The Minister was met after participating in the Sembang Santai Perpaduan talk in Simpang Pelangai last night. Meanwhile, Datuk Seri Mohammad Sabu said India is expected to decide on whether the country will allow white rice to continue to be exported to Malaysia next week. The National Disaster Management Agency, or NADMA, received a medical asset donation worth 6 million ringgit known as Forward Anesthesia Surgical Trauma, or FAST, from the Indo-Pacific Command Headquarters of the United States. It was handed over by U.S. Embassy Chargé d'Affaires Manu Bala to Deputy Chief of Army Lieutenant General Datuk Tengku Muhammad Fauzi Tengku Ibrahim during a ceremony at the Tuanku Mizan Military Hospital. Datuk Tengku Muhammad Fauzi said FAST was used for the Malaysian field hospital operation during a humanitarian mission in Turkey last February. Meanwhile, Manu said FAST helps to strengthen the relationship between civilians and the military and enables both countries to cooperate in addressing humanitarian crises in Malaysia and globally. He said the US and Malaysia have had a long history of collaboration on public health issues, including identifying emerging infectious diseases and threats through their work in Sabah.
Furthermore, the United States AID program, the US government has provided $200 million for research in Borneo for more than a decade to detect and better understand emerging infectious diseases of zoonotic origin. Currently, the United States National Institute of Health funds the Emerging Infectious Disease Southeast Asia Research Collaboration Hub that works to be an early warning system for outbreaks.
Healthcare-related associations are hoping that the government will allocate more funding to expand the Madani Medical Scheme and for the prevention of non-communicable diseases, or NCDs, under Budget 2024. The Malaysian Medical Association President, Dr. Azizan Abdul Aziz, said the scheme has helped to decongest the public healthcare system through partnerships with private general practitioner clinics and should be expanded to include NCD management. She hoped to see more allocations to step up preventive measures with funds to support health education programs and awareness campaigns for the public in schools and at the community level. Meanwhile, Malaysian Association for the Study of Obesity President Dr. Geeta Apana hopes the healthcare allocation of Budget 2024 gives priority to studies of obesity to ensure that individuals benefit from effective interventions. Malaysian Public Health Physicians Association President Datuk Dr. Zainal Arifin Omar said Budget 2024 should entail healthcare incentives which facilitate employees to go for checkups periodically, stay healthy and have a good safety net. The health sector received the second largest allocation of 36.3 billion ringgit in Budget 2023. Malayan Banking Berhad, Maybank, has not implemented any fees in relation to Do It Now QR, and this will continue until further notice. In a statement, the bank said any changes to this will be communicated ahead of time to the merchants. Payments Network Malaysia Sdn Berhad, PayNet, which operates the Do It Now QR code, recently clarified that a 4-year waiver on merchant discount rate MDR charge on merchants is due to expire on the 1st of November. Currently, debit and credit card payments are subject to the MDR. Police have solved a murder case involving a local fruit seller who was stabbed in front of a 2-storey terrace house in Taman Oyuji, Kuala Lumpur, within 48 hours, with the arrest of 13 foreign men. Brickfields District Police Chief ACP Amihizam Abdul Shukur said the suspects, aged between 22 and 52, were arrested during several raids conducted by the Criminal Investigation Department of the Kuala Lumpur Police Contingent Headquarters and the Brickfields District Police Headquarters. In a statement last night, he said police apprehended the main suspect at 11 a.m. yesterday and seized case-related items. The suspects will be remanded until 4th October to assist in the investigation under Section 302 of the Penal Code. On Tuesday, police received information about the incident that occurred at 7:40 p.m. involving the 80-year-old victim who died after being stabbed multiple times in the body and face. 4 men were detained at the location at 2:30 a.m. Harry Potter actor Sir Michael Gambon dies. That and more in the foreign segment.
Memulakan langkah pertama memerlukan 1000 kekuatan. Langkah seterusnya memerlukan nekat dan juga keyakinan. Namun kita harus sokong dan bantu mereka kerana kepulihan itu pasti.
Celebrated British-Irish actor Sir Michael Gambon, best known for playing Albus Dumbledore in 6 of the 8 Harry Potter films, has died in a hospital aged 82. His family announced this last night, saying that Sir Michael died peacefully in hospital with his wife Anne and son Fergus at his bedside following a bout of pneumonia. Born in Ireland, he began his acting career on stage, making his first appearance in a production of Othello at the Gates Theatre in the Irish capital Dublin in 1962. Gambon won 4 television BAFTAs and Olivier Awards during an acclaimed decades-spanning acting career across television, film, radio and theatre. He was even knighted for his contribution to the entertainment industry in 1998. But it was his performances as Dumbledore in the popular Harry Potter films that won him global acclaim, after replacing Richard Harris as the Hogwarts headmaster following the latter's death in 2002. Tributes poured in, especially from Potterheads from all around the world, many quoting Gambon's best line from the film series: "Happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light." Ethnic Armenian separatists in NagornoKarabakh have agreed to dissolve the government by the end of the year and become a full part of Azerbaijan in the wake of Baku's lightning offensive. The dramatic announcement came moments after it became clear that more than half of the rebel region's population had fled the advancing Azerbaijani forces. It drew the curtain on one of the world's longest and seemingly most irreconcilable foreign conflicts, one that successive administrations in Washington and leaders across Europe had failed to resolve in ceaseless rounds of talks. But it also raised the levels of anger in Yerevan. Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan accused Azerbaijan of conducting ethnic cleansing and called on the international community to act. He said more than 70,000 of the region's 120,000 strong population had piled their belongings on top of their cars and left by Thursday. Nagorno-Karabakh has been officially recognized as part of Azerbaijan since the Soviet Union's collapse in 1991. However, no country, not even Armenia, supported the statelet's independence claim. U.S. President Joe Biden has warned in a speech in Arizona that Donald Trump and his extremist allies pose a danger to U.S. democracy, sharpening his attacks on his likely Republican challenger in the 2024 election.
And there's something dangerous happening in America now. There's an extremist movement that does not share the basic beliefs in our democracy. The MAGA movement. My friends, they're not hiding their attacks. They're openly promoting them, attacking the free press as the enemy of the people, attacking the rule of law as an impediment. Not easy.
The speech comes as House Republicans launch impeachment inquiry hearings into Biden based on unproven allegations that he lied about his son Hunter's business dealings. It also comes as the United States heads for a government shutdown this week, with Congress in deadlock over hardline Republican calls for deep spending cuts. Trump this week pushed for Republicans to shut it down unless they got all the concessions they wanted, saying that Biden would be blamed for the dysfunctional situation. Meanwhile, U.S. Republicans began impeachment inquiry hearings into Joe Biden, escalating an 8-month corruption investigation that has failed to uncover evidence of wrongdoing by the president. Mr. Chairman. The party says that the information it has amassed warrants streamlining its multiple probes into an official inquiry empowered to unleash investigators from 3 House committees to subpoena Biden's bank records. Republicans have accused Biden on trading on the power of his office when he was vice president to help his son Hunter Biden secure lucrative foreign business deals and of benefiting personally from the corruption. Democrats have dismissed the efforts as a stunt, accusing Republicans of trying to distract voters days ahead of a looming government shutdown sparked by far-right lawmakers.
Against President Biden for an impeachable offense.
A U.S. State Department report published Thursday revealed that China is spending billions of dollars globally to spread disinformation, threatening to cause a sharp contraction in freedom of speech around the world. According to the report, China's global information manipulation is not simply a matter of public diplomacy, but a challenge to the integrity of the global information space. The report, released by the U.S. State Department's Global Engagement Center, said Beijing spends billions of dollars annually on foreign information manipulation while promoting positive news about China and its ruling Communist Party.
It's a comprehensive look at how the PRC and the Communist Party of China attempt to distort the global information space to advance its geopolitical objectives. When you look at the pieces of the puzzle and you put it together, you see a breathtaking ambition on the part of the PRC to seek information dominance in key regions of the world.
The report comes after Secretary of State Anthony Blinken on Thursday said China was seeking to surpass the United States as the dominant power in the world, militarily, economically, diplomatically. Now, Guatemala has deployed more than 2,000 soldiers to its western border with Mexico to break an influx of drug traffickers active in the region. The soldiers have been mobilizing since Tuesday in the departments of San Marcos and Huehuetenango, mountainous zones inhabited mainly by the indigenous Mayans. Many residents of these underserved areas survive from growing marijuana and the poppy plants from which heroin and opium are obtained. Just across the border, the Chiapas state in southern Mexico is in the grips of a war between Sinaloa and Jalisco new generation cartels. The violence has led to food shortages and electricity and internet blackouts as businesses are forced to close and residents cross to Guatemala to shop. Army spokesman said the deployment was to prevent any possibility of groups with links to transnational organized crime from crossing into Guatemalan territory and causing distress to local populations. It would also aim to strengthen governability and security in the border region. The two countries share about 1,000 kilometers of border with few controls and many illegal crossings by drug traffickers and undocumented migrants. Hundreds of people were rescued from floods in Greece as a new storm hit the country just weeks after floods left 17 dead. The fire service said it had assisted over 250 people in the region surrounding the central city of Volos, where a curfew was declared Wednesday as Storm Elias made landfall. The storm also hit the island of Evia, prompting emergency traffic restrictions in the north of the island. Much of Volos was without electricity and sections of the local hospital flooded, though the facility remained operational. Elias is expected to abate on Friday. Volos, a city of nearly 140,000, was still struggling to recover from Storm Daniel, which 3 weeks ago dumped cataclysmic amounts of rain in central Greece. Storm Daniel left 17 dead, destroyed crops, and killed tens of thousands of farm animals across a wide area in the heart of Greece's agricultural production. Meta chief Mark Zuckerberg said the Czech tech giant is putting artificial intelligence into digital assistants and smart glasses as it seeks to gain lost ground in the AI race. Now, Zuckerberg made his announcement at the Connect Developers Conference at Meta's headquarters in Silicon Valley, the company's main annual product event.
We took a video.
Smart glasses are one of the many ways that tech companies have tried to move beyond the smartphone as a user-friendly device, but so far with little success. The second-generation Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses, made in partnership with EssilorLuxottica, will have a starting price of $299 when they hit the market on 17th October. Zuckerberg said the smart glasses also add the ability for users to stream what they are seeing in real time. Meta also introduced 28 AI characters that people can message on WhatsApp, Messenger, and Instagram, with personalities based on celebrities, including Snoop Dogg, Paris Hilton, and YouTube star Mr. Beast. The event was the first in-person edition of Connect since 2019, before the pandemic, and announcements on generative AI were widely expected.
The right side, that's to adjust your volume.
Okay,
yeah,
got it.
there, you press that.
Coming up in sports, Houston holds on to defeat Messiless Miami, claim US Open Cup. The Malaysian contingent at the 2022 Hangzhou Asian Games yesterday collected 2 medals thanks to excellence by equestrian Muhammad Kabil Ambak Muhammad Fatil and track cyclist Muhammad Shah Firdaus Sahrom. Mohammad Kabil Ambak, with his favourite horse Rosenstolz, created history by winning equestrian's first ever gold medal for Malaysia in the individual dressage event. His performance saw the judges award 75.78 points at the Thonglu Equestrian Centre, which completed his collection of gold, silver and bronze medals in the Asian Games. Mohammad Kabil Ambak had clinched silver at the previous 2018 Jakarta Palembang Asian Games, while he grabbed 2 bronze medals from the 2010 Asian Games in Guangzhou and 2006 Asian Games in Doha, Qatar. In track cycling, national rider Mohammad Shafirdaus Sarum shouldered the responsibility of winning medals in the absence of the injured national track cycling ace Datuk Muhammad Azizul Hasni Awang. The 27-year-old lived up to expectations by winning a bronze in the men's sprint after beating Chen Zizhu from the host nation 2-0. However, the men's badminton squad were shown the exit in the first round by South Korea, thus missing any chance for medal from the team event. National ace shuttler Lee Zijia lost 14-21, 21-14, 18-21 in 3 sets to Jeon Hyuk Jin. While men's doubles pair Aaron Chia So Woo-yik levelled the tie at 1-all over Seo Seung-jae Kang Min-hyuk 21-17, 21-9. The gallant effort could not prevent the Malaysian team's exit, since the normally reliable Ng Zi-yong was totally outplayed by Lee Yoon-gyu, who triumphed 21-11, 21-16. Hopes will now rest on the individual events, both in the men's singles and doubles, which start on Monday. Meanwhile, Mohammad Kabil Ambak Mohammad Fatil said that his gold medal achievement was made even more meaningful with the presence of his family in Hangzhou.
This time, my whole family is here, with my kids, and this is the first Asian game. They are all here to support me, and it's something that will be quite a memorable event for me.
Kabil, who was reunited with his favourite horse Rosenstolz, admitted the move was a right decision. Meanwhile, Youth and Sports Minister Hannah Yeoh also congratulated the Malaysian contingent for the second gold medal. The minister expressed pride at Kabil Ambak's success, who is now referred to as the best equestrian in Asia. The 43-year-old athlete made his debut at the Asian Games during the 1998 edition in Thailand. Griffin Dorsey and Amin Bassi scored before halftime as the Houston Dynamo won their second US Open Cup with a 2-1 victory over Inter Miami, who were without Lionel Messi in Florida. For the 4th time in 5 matches, Miami played without Messi, who had been nursing a lower body muscle issue since he went to play with an Argentina national team earlier this month. Miami manager Tata Martino said that Messi's status would be a game-time decision, and the superstar's name was not listed in the lineup just before the start of the game. Messi had played only 37 of the past 360 minutes of league play for Inter Miami. Meanwhile, Houston Dynamo head coach Ben Olsen said preparations were made for dealing with Messi, but ultimately believed that they were still a strong team.
Yeah, I think we prepared all week for Messi and Alba, and let's be honest, they're a different team with and without them. But we also heard the rumors, and we had a fairly clear game plan with and without him. They're definitely different when he's not on the field, and I think they missed him tonight, and I think they missed Alba, but. That's okay. They're still a pretty good team, and they've put together in a short amount of time an incredible group. And I'm not going to take anything away from our group tonight.
Morocco were awarded the hosting of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations finals. Morocco will be replacing Guinea, who were stripped of the right to host the tournament last year, while the 2027 rights were handed to a co-bid from Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda. Morocco won by default after Algeria, Zambia and a joint bid from Benin and Nigeria all withdrew before the vote of the Confederation of African Football CAF Executive Committee in Cairo. The North African country was a runaway favourite and will see the decision as a boost to their hopes of co-hosting the 2030 World Cup with Portugal and Spain. It is only the second time that Morocco will host Africa's most popular sporting event, almost 4 decades after the previous time in 1988.
So the decision that was taken today was in the context of all of those countries withdrawing and the discussions, and to focus on African unity and African development and growth. So the AFCON 2025 is going to be hosted by Morocco. Can we clap hands for Morocco, please?
The joint East African bid for 2027 returns the finals to the region for the first time since 1976. They beat Botswana, Egypt and Senegal in a vote of the CAF Executive Committee. Algeria were also a candidate but withdrew on Tuesday.
Kenya, Uganda.
Olympique de Marseille have named Italian Gennaro Gattuso as coach following the departure of Marcelino Garcia Toral. The French League One club said that the 45-year-old Gattuso takes over after Spaniard Marcelino left the club amid a feud with Marseille supporters. Gattuso left Valencia in January, 7 months after his appointment with the La Liga side just above the relegation zone. He becomes the third current Italian coach in League One after Fabio Grosso at Olympique Lyonnais and Francesco Farioli for OGC Nice. The former Italy midfielder previously managed his former club AC Milan and Napoli, leaving the current Serie A champions at the end of the 2020-2021 season. The Italian promises changes to the approach that was taken by his predecessor on the Marseille bench, as he stated he's not a fan of the 4-4-2 formation and instead preferring 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. Marseille are 8th in League One after 2 wins, 3 draws and a 4-0 loss to Paris Saint-Germain. They failed to qualify for the Champions League this season. They face Monaco on Saturday before hosting Brighton and Hove Albion in the Europa League. The hearing of the Russian figure skater Camila Valeeva's doping case has been adjourned until November after a panel of arbitrators asked for further documentation. Valeeva tested positive for the banned substance trimetazidine at the Russian National Championships in December 2021, but the result was only made known on 8 February 2022, a day after she helped her team win gold at the Winter Olympics. The International Skating Union, ISU, had lodged an appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS, after a Russian investigation found the teenager not guilty of a doping infraction, despite acknowledging that she failed a drug test. The International Olympic Committee, IOC, authorized Valeeva to take part in the women's singles event despite her positive test, but said medals for the team event would not be allocated until her case was settled. The ISU is seeking a ruling from CAS to set aside RUSADA's decision and sanction Valeeva with a period of ineligibility on top of disqualification. WADA, meanwhile, is seeking for a 4-year ban on top of the disqualification of all her results from February 2022. In her defense, Valeeva said the positive test was the result of a mix-up with her grandfather's heart medication. And that's it for Updates at Noon today. Wrapping up with a reminder of our top story, MOF to begin talks on return of assets to TH. Tune in to Malaysia Tonight, coming up at 8:30 p.m. on TV1 and saluran Berita RTM. I'm Mohana Priya, Malaysia Madani, Tekad Perpaduan, Penuhi Harapan.